What's going on, everybody? Sorry for such a delayed trade recap. Been a pretty chaotic day, but let's just get right into it. It was a very tricky day. I ended the day a little above break even, so we're going to talk about the 3 trades I take, which is usually way more than than I usually take. So, all right, coming into the day, I was super bullish. You look at my analysis, motherfucker. You look at my analysis today, and I said bullish for today. We have fully displaced through our new week opening gap. We also have an S&T with London highs, but that will probably get taken out at open. If we get a reaction off of one of our liquidity pools above, I will look for shorts, blah, blah, blah. So if you can see here, we opened up a 30-minute right at 9:30 open. And we had shifted structure above this London high, so I wanted to see us come up and start getting all these highs on ES and NQ. Yes, we had a bearish S&T, but my bias was still bullish. I wanted to see a retrace. So what happens right at open? Well, right at open, we immediately sell off into this 30-minute gap. And what do we do when we do that? We also form this internal SMT, and we get an immediate V-shaped reaction. So I drop down to the 30-second time frame. What do you know? We have a gap right there, and what do you know? We inverse the gap. Beautiful V-shape, beautiful everything. But my dumbass, instead of just scalping 20 points, I decided, no, I'm going to put my stop here. I'm going to take a partial off at this high, and then I'm going to leave a runner for about here. I think my stop ended up being up more like here for a 1-to-1. And I did that. And what happened? First candle, immediate TP1 hit. Absolutely lovely. Both assets flying. What happens next candle? We come back and wick my entry by a fucking tick. And then, boom. Retrace, continue. But we didn't just continue to my second TP, of course. We decided to continue for the entire fucking morning, basically. Which brings me to my next trade. So, very, very good trade, but I barely made anything off it. I was probably like up $80 per account, and I was just like, what the fuck? So, then, what happened here was, we had finally filled this new week opening gap entirely, as you can see, on ES, and we had swept this lunch high. So, this was definitely my worst trade of the day, in my opinion. But we had bearish SMTs. ES, after this huge pump, was finally starting to lag a little bit. We got an immediate V-shape. I liked it. We got the 30-second close. So I decided to test my luck on this reversal here. Light the momentum candle. Put my stop about here. Targeted this wick for a 1-to-1. And what happened? I got actually molested. So then that happens. So now, bam, all of a sudden I'm down like 120, which is very, very small, like half of a typical, not even half of a typical loss for me. I didn't love this trade in hindsight. I think I should have waited for this high to get taken. I think it was pretty obvious we were trending towards this high anyway. So L on me for this. Mechanically, it's a good trade, but I should have seen the bigger picture, and I made a mistake. So yeah. Then we come up and I basically was like, all right, let's just get a 10 a.m. trade at this point, because now we're not doing shit. So what happens at 10 a.m.? We expand into this high, and then we get this 30-second inversion. The reason why I like this so much is because we have a bearish external SMT. We have a... Where is it? Where is it? There was an internal SMT. Just can't fucking find it. I don't know. There was an internal SMT. We got this 30-second inversion with a great momentum close. And I wanted to target all the way at this 15-minute gap below. I felt like we were at least going to go for this 15-minute at 10 a.m. And then what happens here? I decided to also take a partial off. I believe it was at this low right here. Right? So, what happens? We decide to chop in fucking agony for 30 minutes. like literally at my entry, almost stopped my shit. I think I ended up moving my stop to this high, and that was what happened. I almost got stopped. We finally hit TP1, and then I started trailing aggressively, and I think I ended up getting out on my runner around here. So still a 1.6 RR trade. Best trade of the day was probably still the long at open. But overall, today was shit. And a lot of people lost. I'm blessed to come out green, even if it was only a little bit. I don't think I even secured a winning day on Top Step today. So, you know, that's annoying, but we have tomorrow. We have the rest of the week. I believe Trump is going to be speaking later in the day, so I'm still going to be able to trade AM session. I think I technically only need 2 more winning days on Top Step to get my third payout, but I'm going to go for 3 just so I could have a bigger buffer on them, because here's my plan. You know, we have this week, obviously, for me to trade. My goal is to get the winning days 2 to 3 in these next 4 days. And then with next week being NFP, I'm probably just going to like slowly like risk very little amounts on those accounts until NFP and then gamble them on NFP because I'm already at, or sorry, take a payout and then gamble it on NFP because then I would already be at 3 payouts by then and I don't want to get the risk of getting moved to live. So I'd either want to take a fat payout from NFP or blow them. So my goal is to, you know, get my third payout before NFP. If I don't get my third payout before NFP, then I probably won't gamble them on NFP, but I will be gambling some 150s on NFP. And yeah, but today was very, very tricky to say the least. I'm very happy with my analysis on the first trade. Very, I guess, I don't know. I always typically put my stop here, but I've noticed on my opening setup trades, they always hit TP1 and then they edge everything else because it's just too wicky. That's been happening all the time at open. So from now, while we're in these conditions, I might just start trying to scalp at open rather than look for, you know, a partial and then the next thing. So yeah, very interesting learning experience. This trade I'm not happy with, and then the second trade was very good mechanically because it was 10 a.m. We manipulated into a 4-hour high that we were going for all day, and we had an unfilled 15-minute below that ended up getting hit. And yeah, I really liked both my first and third trade. My second trade definitely a bit of a force. Should have waited for the higher high to get hit. But yeah, that's my day.